Good evening, everybody, and good evening, Governor Whitmer. Welcome to this evening's session for the Gender, Women's Suffrage and Political Power Conference, co-hosted by the Center for Gender in Global Context and Department of History at Michigan State University, and the Institute for Research on Women and Gender at the University of Michigan. My name is Dr. Lucy Thompson. I use she, her pronouns. I'm Assistant Professor of Psychology, Senior Research Fellow at the Center for Gender in Global Context at MSU, and a member of the gwspp Conference Committee. Tonight, we are thrilled to welcome Michigan's 49th Governor, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, to the conference. And I'm going to hand over to Naoko Wake, who is going to introduce the Governor tonight.
Thank you, Lucy, and welcome again, Governor Gretchen Whitmer. I am Naoko Wake. I'm Associate Professor of History, she, her, hers pronouns, and the Director of the Asian Pacific American Studies program here at Michigan State University. I'm also a member of the Conference Planning Committee. It's my great pleasure to introduce Governor Gretchen Whitmer tonight, who is a lifelong Michigander. She's a lawyer, educator, former prosecutor, state representative, and a senator. She was the first woman to lead a Senate for caucus, but the most important title she boasts is mom. Inspired by her family, she has been devoted to building a stronger Michigan for everyone. Governor Whitmer was elected to the House of Representatives in 2000, then to the Michigan State Senate in 2006, where she served as the Senate Democratic leader. Since taking the oath of the governor's office in 2018, she's put together the most diverse cabinet in the state's history and has signed executive directives to clean drinking water, end discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity, secure equal pay for equal work, and expand opportunities for small businesses. She is also committed to ensuring that every Michigander has a great public education and a path to a good job. And as all of us have been witnessing in the recent months, she's been an incredibly strong advocate for public health, safety, and well-being during this COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Whitmer and her husband, Mark Mallory, live in Lansing with her two daughters, Sherry and Sydney. Her three stepsons, Alex, Mason, and Winston, also live in Michigan. Governor Whitmer earned bachelor's and law degrees from Michigan State University, and she's also taught for the Center for Gender in Global Context. We are delighted to welcome you back to your alma mater. Now, please join us welcoming Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
Thank you, Naoko. Thank you, Lucy. I'm so glad to be here with all of you and so grateful for the work that you do and the kinds of thought leaders that you are and the minds that you touch and help form every day in your work. It's so important. And I did teach with the Center for Gender Equity and in a global context, and it gave me the opportunity to get to know so many young women. Our class, I think, with one man and all the rest were women. And I have come across one of my former students who I've now hired in my office. I always thought she would be a great person who maybe will run one day. And I think there are so many different ways that we can serve, that we can meet our mutual goals together. And I'm really happy to be here with all of you and honored to be speaking with you. And I would much prefer to do it in person if we could do that safely. But of course, we'll stay connected virtually and stay safe this year. I do look forward to resuming that at some point when we can. I always really embrace and appreciate opportunities to connect with women across our state to talk about the issues that we face. We all know that when more women are engaged in electoral politics, we can get more things done. In 2018, we elected, people told each of us that it could never happen, but we did elect 3 strong women to serve in our statewide constitutional offices. Me and my running mate, Garland Gilchrist, who broke a glass ceiling of his own, he becoming the state's first African-American lieutenant governor, but our Attorney General, Dana Nessel, and our Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson. And since we were sworn in, we have worked hard to ensure that every Michigander, no matter their gender, no matter how they identify, no matter who they love, is respected and protected under the law and has the support that they need to thrive in our state. I'm really proud to have appointed some strong leaders and worked closely with the Michigan Women's Commission these past 2 years. The Michigan Women's Commission held conversations with women all across our state and found that more women in leadership positions across the board is a priority. That wasn't particularly surprising. But we also had lots of important conversations around the economy, the personal economy, the economy that too often is stacked against women. We're currently working to inspire and assist more women to jump into politics as well, whether it's running for office or appointments to governmental boards and commissions or nonprofit boards and corporate boards. There's a need for more women in academic leadership, and I'm really glad that women leaders at MSU and U of M teamed up to host this important conference. I want to encourage all of our participants today to find and follow the Michigan Women's Commission on social media to get involved with our work and help us advocate for women's economic and social justice. The Commission's hosting a panel at this conference tomorrow called Ways to Live a Political Life, featuring the Michigan Women's Commission commissioners who are living that political life. And I hope you'll check it out. There are so many different ways that we can make the impact that we want to see. And each of us has a different path. There's not one perfect way to do it. But this is something that I think is really important. Since taking my oath, we have created the most diverse cabinet in Michigan's history. We have built empowered places and spaces for people of all walks of life who traditionally have not had seats at the tables where decisions that impact us all are being made. Despite this pandemic, we've been working hard to ensure that women across Michigan have the support that they need. We all know that economic issues are women's issues, and that's why this year, on the 100th anniversary of Women's Equality Day, I announced that the Michigan Women's Commission moved from the Department of Civil Rights to the Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity. From day one, we've made a commitment and we've been living our values to build a stronger and more equitable state. Because I know we can't call Michigan a home for opportunity unless Michigan is home to successful women who are afforded the same opportunities that our male counterparts are. And that means ensuring equal work gets equal pay. It means rectifying the historic inequities in pay where women are 70 cents on the dollar for male counterparts, and we know that disparity is much worse and profound for women of color. And women have really been hit hard by the economic crisis that we're facing as a result of this pandemic. Studies have shown that women are being laid off at higher rates than men because more of us hold low-wage frontline jobs as nurses and teachers and childcare workers and caregivers. Meanwhile, we're trying to educate our kids at home, many of us are, and keep everything going with incredible stressors and too few supports. So as we rebuild our economy, we got to ensure that empowering women is one of our top priorities. We've hit the ground running. The Michigan Small Business Relief Program awarded $10 million in grants and nearly $10 million in loans to small businesses in all 83 counties. The Small Business Relief Restart grants, which provided $100 million in federal funding to small businesses. And we designed these programs to make sure that we focused on women-owned, minority-owned, and veteran-owned businesses. Those grants have helped more than 6,300 women-owned businesses. And the women have been working so hard on the front lines are also eligible for some new opportunities for growth. As of right now, more than 70,000 people have applied to the Futures for Frontliners program, which provides a path to opportunity for frontline workers who worked on our behalf during COVID-19 and are still working on our behalf. It's a tuition-free pathway to a post-secondary degree or certificate. So fiscal year 2021 budget that I signed in September also included money for the Michigan Reconnect program, which is a tuition-free pathway to adults looking to earn a post-secondary certificate or associate degree. And all of these actions are geared toward helping us create pathways to success for people everywhere that will help our small businesses connect with the talent that they need as well. And so I'm going to keep calling on the federal government to step up their support and mirror what we have done so that we can magnify this important work to help people in this time of crisis, and women in particular who are feeling the brunt of it hardest. Because Michiganders need to know that their government, state and federal, is really looking out for all of us. That's what we're trying to live in this administration. I want to thank you all for joining this conference today. I want to encourage you to continue finding ways to get involved. As we continue to fight COVID-19, I hope that you'll stay smart and stay safe and get a flu shot, wear your mask, and not congregate for the holiday. It's hard, it's tough, but I care about you, and that's why I'm asking that you do what you need to stay safe. I think the work that you do is really important. I know that my life has been impacted by some of the people who really challenged my thinking, who exposed me to new concepts, and I hope that I'm using the lessons that I've learned as a student and putting them to practice in ways that maybe help and inspire and encourage others to do more. And I look forward to when we can congregate together in person, and perhaps when maybe I'm voting for one of you one day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Governor Whitmer. I think we are all in agreement that we feel very fortunate to have somebody like you as our governor at this time of crisis. I think it's very true that women are uniquely and probably more considerably affected by COVID-19 pandemic, especially women of color. And so therefore it matters even more that we have somebody experiencing women's issues in addition to public health issues, somebody like you who is trained at Michigan State University and in Michigan more broadly to be in a leadership position. We take your lessons to our heart and then try to stay safe, but I really like to repeat how much we appreciate of how you made time for us to speak with us out of your busy schedule tonight. It's very inspiring for us to hear from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Naoko. And again, please join us in thanking Governor Whitmer for her remarks this evening, and for her remarkable, and please join us in thanking the Governor for her remarkable leadership and unwavering service to the people of Michigan, especially over the most recent months. Finally, thank you all for joining us tonight. We're looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow and on Saturday for the remainder of the conference. Please register if you haven't already attended events, and we will see you tomorrow and Saturday.